Okay, so now we come back to get a full recap of where we've been and where we are going. So we did pre-engagement in test 1. We're comfortable with the requirements. In test 1, we did the planning stage, but we didn't do computer information systems. So now we've gone and considered the fact that they might have a computer information system, and therefore there are risks in having that, but there are controls that they can put in place to address those risks, like their general controls and their application controls. And if they've got those controls, it should minimize those risks that they face in having that system. And so now that I understand that system that they have, and the risks and the controls, I can add the additional risks to my risk assessment in the planning stage because of this computer information system, and then I can add my additional considerations to how I respond to those risks in terms of my audit plan. So maybe including CATs, which we have already been discussing in test 1, even though we hadn't done computer information systems. So I can adjust my plan because I now understand they have computers. Now that we've considered everything about this client's environment, internal control, we need to action our plan. And that means we need to do our testing of controls if we chose the combined approach, and then our substantive procedures, or if we only chose a substantive approach, performing our substantive procedures. In terms of today, we are only going to focus on the test of controls element, and then the rest of our schedule is going to be focused on our substantive procedures. Okay. So we've done quite a detailed summary. All I want to just discuss here, or just remind you here, these two risks, inherent and control, together make up the risks of material misstatements. And remember, we assess this at the two levels, the financial statement level and at the assertion level. And it's at this level that we had to respond by developing our audit plan. And that audit plan had to take into account what procedures we would do to address those inherent and those control risks. And based on those procedures, we will now have to go and implement. So just also to make sure that you're very comfortable with the audit plan, because that's what we're going to implement now, I've just split it up into the two different approaches we could have taken. So first of all, if we'd gone with the combined approach, we'd have to do both test of control and substantive. We have to consider the timing, whether we're interim or year end, and just the factors that help us to do that consideration, because this is now going to be when we are actually going to perform the procedures. Are we going to come in at an interim and start doing some testing, or come in at year end only? And then the extent, how much, where am I going to be focusing on? That's going to help me now when I do my testing. Must I do more test of controls, more analytical and less test of detail? Or if we've chosen a substantive approach, the fact that I'm going to have to do lots of test of detail, less analytical, again, when am I coming in? Was all based on the plan. So now we need to actually discuss how I'm going to go about performing and gathering the evidence for, specifically today, our test of controls. Okay, and from the weeks following, we will then look at substantive. So let's see what audit evidence is